Up, TSS subscribers? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another Raf Rant. Okay, well, this one's gonna be about Danny Garcia and Robert Guerrero, the face-off, the fight, the WBC big title match that went down on Saturday night. If you didn't get to watch it, I'm sorry. Go and try and replay it because it was actually a pretty good fight. Some of the people are going off talking about how the fight wasn't fair, that it might have ended up in a controversy when it comes to some of the scoring. I had it 115-113. I had Danny Garcia winning. He is the new WBC welterweight champion, if you haven't heard yet. So what I want to touch on is basically what happened, what transpired through the fight, and what is in the future for the guy, the man now, Danny Garcia. First of all, I want to touch on how Danny wasn't doing so great in the first 4 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds. Because the 6th round, he started to come back a little bit and show some hand speed. I was not impressed with the fact that he doesn't jab. I've never seen a boxer not win without a jab, but he does pretty well without it, so my hat goes off to him. But I think that could be something that could bite him back one day. And he didn't use a jab last night, and I was kind of unimpressed by that, but at the same time, I'm also impressed that he can win without it. So then, the first thing I want to comment on is basically that Robert had a chance at winning the title last night. He was on him for the first 4 rounds, and actually I haven't seen him fight that well since he fought Andre Berto, and that was a couple years back. So I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Guerrero is a better Guerrero, or the one that was the Guerrero after the first 5 or 6 rounds? Do you guys think it was a robbery, or do you think it was close? Do you guys think that the judges didn't score it correctly? Because I thought that they scored it pretty fairly, but the guy that was doing the commentary, that he was he was the announcing team's judge and stuff like that, I felt like he was a little unfair. And I feel like that Danny did pretty well after the 4 or 5 rounds that started the fight. After the first 4 or 5 rounds, Danny is looking to see if he's going to be able to fight Amir Khan now, and maybe even some other guys that have been calling him out, because now he has the Floyd Mayweather title, and Floyd Mayweather was in the audience, and he was watching, and he also thought it was a closer fight than the judges. He actually thought it was a draw. And if you don't believe that, then go check out the latest fight hype video. It's out there on YouTube's, and he basically thought it was a draw. So do you guys think it was a draw? Do you think it was that close, or do you think that Danny won and he just couldn't knock him out? I mean, Robert was in the fight. He had a better jab than Danny, but after the 5th and 6th round, I feel like he got too comfortable with the fact that Danny could land shots, and he just would let him. He got comfortable with getting hit. And if you look at some of the interviews that have gone up already on Fight Hype and ES News and all this stuff like that, Danny talked about how he would let him start off a combination, and he couldn't end the combination as strong, but he would let him start. And that to me is not a good sign, when a person lets you start a combination really strong and then try to slip in a few punches and stuff like that. Other than that, the showing was pretty good. It was actually better than the Wilder showing, and that whole operation, I think it was good. It was a step up from the last fight that we saw that was on Showtime on YouTube, and it wasn't bad at all. I actually think it was a pretty good showing. 2 guys got carried out basically, and that was in Showtime. And then after that, this weekend, we had two guys quit on the stool. Now, the first guy that quit was a heavyweight. His name is Amir, and that was kind of bad because he was actually doing pretty good in the first couple rounds, and we did not know until later on. We found out that his jaw was broken. The Brazil rocked him so hard that he broke his jaw in the second round. That was pretty shocking to me to see him go down like that. But it was a good fight. I thought it was a good fight, and I felt that Monsewer had a chance. Amir Monsewer had a chance versus Brazil. But Brazil was a better fighter at that moment. He was a little bit more stable. But if Monsewer would have put in a little bit more effort and he wouldn't have got caught with that punch to break his jaw, he could have still had a big chance. But some of these boxers, they come in and they don't have as much experience, or they just going for a home run. And I respect Monsewer for that. I feel that he might have to start from scratch again. My hat goes off to him. The Martinez and Vasquez fight, some of the people I was watching, some of my friends that I was watching the fight with, the Martinez fight and Vasquez, they weren't impressed with Martinez's style. They didn't like his, putting up his defense and fighting on the inside. I was just trying to let people know that there are people that have styles, and that's what they stick to, and that's how they make their money. But besides that, I didn't think that fight was that great either. Mansour's fight was actually good. But overall, to say that the whole thing was bad, it wasn't bad. It was really good. I actually give the whole show a 7. And I don't mind watching some PBC fights if they're going to put on more fights like that. But that's basically it. That's my rant for the day, and that's my review. To touch in more on the Sean Porter and Keith Thurman fight that is coming up. This is my short breakdown of the fight. I believe that if Sean Porter doesn't knock down Keith Thurman, at least knock him down by the first 4 to 6 rounds, I give it to Keith Thurman, and I think that Keith Thurman is going to decision him. Now, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think that Keith Thurman is emotionally not looking forward to this fight because he's actually good friends with Sean Porter. And also the reason why I think this could be a 50-50 fight is because Sean Porter's dad is very dedicated, and he's not about being embarrassed. He doesn't like taking the loss. Neither does Sean, and their relationship is pretty strong. So I think that it's going to be a 50-50 fight because of those odds against Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman is a more athletic fighter, I believe. He moves a little bit more. He has a little bit more tricks to him, and his reach is a little longer than Sean Porter's. But I think that Will can overrun skill sometimes, and someone like Sean Porter can really destroy Keith Thurman's dreams. And Keith Thurman needs to keep that in his mind, And I hope that whoever's training him is keeping him ready for a 12-round fight, because that's the only way I see him finishing off Sean Porter. I don't see him knocking him down. I don't see him knocking him out. I think that there's a possibility, and there are some style difference that can cause some problems for Sean Porter, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Sean Porter is going to come in with a lot of will and a lot of energy and a lot of power and stuff like that, and I think he's going to try to beat him, and he's going to try to get him for that title. So it should be a good fight. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Let us know what you guys think. So that's it. That's basically it. This is Rex Righteous, your boy TSS, signing off. Peace.